What's up, YouTube? Welcome to another exciting personal finance video where I'm talking stocks and gold and silver, all that good stuff. If you haven't done so already, guys, please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and check out my website, My Road to Wealth and Freedom. I just published yesterday my passive income report where I've made over $4,000 in passive income in the month of October. That's like an all-time record for me. Pretty happy with that. But anyways, before I go any further, I just want to give you my disclaimer. Guys, I'm not a financial advisor, so do your own research, consult with financial advisor before making any investment decision like buying gold or silver or buying stocks or commodities, anything like that. All right, guys, of course, big news last night, went to bed. Trump was in the lead and wake up this morning and it's really neck and neck right now. I'm watching this election. It's just crazy how close the U.S. election is. Just want to show you guys something. This is where we're at right now. According to CNN, Biden has what, 224 to Trump's 213. There's still a lot of like battleground states haven't been counted yet. I know Trump's winning Pennsylvania and Ohio, all this stuff. Fox News, what do they say? Biden's in the lead, 238 to Trump's 213. Looks like Biden actually has a shot at this. He may actually end up taking the presidency. I was pretty certain Trump would have, after what I saw last night, it looked like Trump was just killing it. So I also want to go over to the markets here, so check that out. The Dow's up almost 500 points. S&P 500 again 83 points, 2.5%. What's gold doing? Gold's down $8. Silver's down a little bit. Just basically, it's a wash. They're just kind of waiting. Oil, you got what, $38 a barrel. All eyes are on the election. All eyes are on the election. But as I've been saying on this video, and as other financial guys have been saying, it really doesn't matter who's in the White House or who's going to win any of these elections, because fundamentally the economic situation remains the same, and the policies and tools at their disposal to deal with it are also pretty much the same. Of course, I'm talking about fiscal stimulus. The Fed's basically out of ammo. There's not a whole lot they can do. I guess they could try to directly, or I guess more directly, control the yield curve going out. Maybe they'll go out to 30 years or something like that. I'm not sure. I don't know enough about that stuff. But yeah, so that's where we're at. Expect fiscal stimulus. Gold and silver will once again move on that news. And in the wind somewhere is this IMF reset talk about a global financial reset. The US dollar, of course, is the world's reserve currency, and that's under a lot of pressure right now due to the trillions and upon trillions of dollars that have been piling up. There's not too many creditors that want to be buying these bonds. Basically, it's the Fed buying up all these bonds, monetizing the debt, monetizing deficit spending, and all that stuff. And it's not just unique to the U.S. It's basically everywhere. I know in Canada it's just as bad. The EU, England, Bank of Japan, everywhere they're in the same boat. And China, who everyone's always like, oh, China, they get all this stuff, and they have more debt, I think, than just about anybody else out there. Right now, their economy seems to be growing, or at least it was. They were getting that bump, but demographics would suggest that they're going to slow down. Any type of country that's like really gone through those like rapid modernization, industrialization, they quickly kind of crash 20, 30 years later. You saw that like basically mid 18th century with Great Britain, right? They had the Industrial Revolution. And then by the turn of the century, 1900, they were kind of falling back and the Germans were advancing. Then you had that same sort of dynamic at work in Japan, right? 1900, Japan started its like modernization thing. And, you know, right around the time of World War II, this started to come down, right? Like, countries can only handle so much, and it looks like China doesn't really have that young population that's going to really propel it forward. So I feel like a lot of things are coming to a head right now. It's kind of like a do or die, now or never type situation. You know, China's making its moves now because it may not be able to in the future. Um, so, how many other countries are in that situation? I'm not sure. All I know in times like these, um, I'm not running to Bitcoin. I know some people out there are a big fan of Bitcoin, but I'm just sticking with the tried and true physical gold and silver. Um, that's what I've been using, and as my hedge, and I'll continue to do so. I'm still investing though in my stocks, especially the commodities. More and more people are coming out saying how undervalued they are. Um, I forget who it was just the other day was going out about oil, how 2021 could be a big turnaround. Of course, nobody really knows, but you definitely want to have exposure to just about everything. I think balance, diversification, those are the keys, in my opinion, that we all need to follow to kind of weather these storms, because it's just too hard to tell the future, right? And then there's always like these unforeseen black swan events. Um, I was watching a video with this like philosopher. He's an ex options trader. His name is Nassim Taleb, and he talks about this concept of anti-fragile. That's more to do with like options and stuff like that, where you can actually like set things up to benefit from like extreme volatility. But I think like, dumbing that down for like the average person, having a little bit of cash on hand, having some gold and silver, precious metal exposure, maybe a little bit of commodities, some tech, so maybe a couple index funds, throw those in there, some emerging market. You kind of want to have a diversification, broad diversification. Another guy I was following was Ray Dalio. If you check out his portfolio, he's big on like just super diversification, because you just don't know, and nobody can really tell. Like, at the start of 2020, nobody would have ever foreseen a global like pandemic emerging. It just wasn't on anyone's radar, really, maybe other than Bill Gates. But nonetheless, that stuff went down, and we're dealing with it now. It's just one of those things, comes out of left field. Nobody, everyone was focusing on this phase one trade deal with China, the almost war with Iran. Stuff like that seems like 10 years ago, but that was not even a year ago. So just goes to show you how quickly things can change, and how things that are considered safe can all of a sudden become really unsafe, unstable, in the face of that level of uncertainty. So that's all I got for today, guys. It's just going to be a short one, because this election's a real nail biter. Like I said, long term, it's really not going to make a big difference who rules the roost down in the U.S. Ultimately, it's going to be similar policies aimed at stopping basically a depression. I mean, people are really hurting out there. More and more people are losing their jobs. Europe's going into lockdown again. The more this stuff happens, the less likely it's going to bounce back. The longer things stay shut down, the longer there's no one going to bars or movies, socializing, any of that stuff. Like, it just, people are losing their businesses. Small business owners are in particular are getting killed. Commercial real estate. I've said this time and time again. Like, just the situation's not getting any better. And I think what's telling us, the problems on the horizon are these bank stock valuations. If you look at them, there's going to be some defaults in 2021, and everything that the governments have done have really just stalled the reckoning. I think they were hoping, this will be, 6 months. We'll get through it and then deal with things on the other side. Well, it's turning into a lot longer than 6 months. And the longer this thing goes, the more jobs that aren't coming back, the more dire of a situation it becomes. So, anyways, I can go on forever. But hope you guys enjoyed this. Have a great day.